With the truth, the facts, we lay it down flat. With the melanated empire, never hold back. Put the facts in the blacks and make them wiser.
Peace, love, and bliss, melanated empire. Get that shit off, man. I swear. You mean to tell me that has become the new normal? And that is supposed to mitigate the transmission of this so much, of a deadly virus, family. Come on, man. Peace, love, and coconut oil, family. You know how we do at Melanated Empire. This video, as you can tell, is going to be about these face masks that it has become almost mandatory to wear if you want any transaction to be done. We not really going to go off into, it being a sort of muzzle for the black people. We want to come on the science and the factual evidence in regards to the recycling of carbon dioxide and how it affects our respiratory system. Having said that, let's jump right in. But before that, family, for any business to be done, you mean to tell me I have to wear that? Places like the bank, for example. Back in the day, if you could ever enter a bank and your face covered, Gaza, when this corona thing, this COVID-19 thing just came out, when you entered the bank, you can have a scarf, anything. They didn't even really used to ask you to move the scarf. You understand? So I'm sure a lot of the robbers, may have been, and a lot of the bad boys, the wanted ones, may have been really content. Even right now, you see man walking through town. Nobody not next to them, but they have a mask on. Anyway, as I said, we're going to reason on basically the dangers of the carbon dioxide recycling as a result of this mask. Now, this carbon dioxide, what is carbon dioxide? I mean, the family knows that, we breathe in oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide, but what really is it? So, scientifically, the term carbon dioxide, its symbol being CO2, so we have one carbon atom and two oxygen atoms. It's basically an odorless, tasteless gas, family. You get carbon dioxide because of, we can say, 3 reasons: combustion, fermentation, and respiration. So the only way we know it is through respiration. But let's say you fermenting, for example, you building some roots, like how I showed the family the last time. You building some roots. When you put everything in the bucket, and you let it simmer there for a few weeks, it will begin to ferment. And the gases you will get, one of the gases as a result of that fermentation, is carbon dioxide. Okay, and combustion, you can get it through engine combustion as well, and that would actually be mixed with carbon monoxide, but that is a different level. We're speaking about carbon dioxide here. So family, this odorless, tasteless gas, okay, which happens again through respiration. If the body, and that's basic mathematics. If the body is expelling that, okay, you shouldn't be directly inhaling it. The air we breathe, okay, let's say you're in a room. The carbon dioxide levels of that room will be 0.04, okay? So as a result, it will not affect you because the oxygen amount is greater in proportion to the carbon dioxide. But when you have this mask on, family, and it's blocking your nose, you get me? And we here in St. Lucia, the people are very creative. I have to give them that. You will see some masks there with some nice African print material. You see how nice that orange looking, if that orange there, which is why I put it anyway. I give my people that. Our people are very innovative. You understand? And they like to bring everything down to fashion. Because black people are just about fashion, really. Sometimes it goes a bit over the top. You know what I mean? Anyway, when you have your nose covered and you're breathing in, family, and you breathe in and you breathe out through your nose and you have to breathe back in, what you will notice is when you breathe, you can't even really breathe in through your nose because you're not getting enough oxygen. You will actually breathe in through your mouth. Sometimes you will see the middle part of the mask moving. People are breathing, not striving for air like that. You understand? Now, the humidity, okay, of this carbon dioxide which you are letting out, family, right? And also the humidity of the air when you're breathing it in, although your nostrils, the way our nostrils are shaped, is meant to cool the air. But we know how hot it is these days. So the humidity when you're breathing in these fibers, let's Let's also consider the fact that not every time people have a $5 to buy a mask. So most people tend to wash this, okay? And the detergent that they wash it with, I mean the chemicals within that detergent, most of it gets stuck in the material. You're supposed to know this. So you actually breathing in those solvents, family. Breathing in the ink and the very fibers of this material. The humidity will actually have an effect on the fibers, and very minute particles will enter your system. All that will affect your respiratory system. Now, carbon dioxide itself can be considered as an asphyxiant, okay? Coming from the word as asphyxia, which basically means lack of oxygen. So if you are given too much carbon dioxide, it can actually be detrimental to your health. It can even make you pass out. You know, even deaf, family, I mean, on convulsions, you know, you there beating on the floor like it's a fit that taking you, right? Now, while we haven't seen this in any, I mean, of the world's population, I really do no research out large as yet, but I'm checking in St. Lucia. But in St. Lucia, we're more moving rebel, you know. Now, a few of us that just say, okay, you should just moving through. Even I myself, because of my work, I need to enter certain establishments, right? And the people that familiar with me already, you see that behind the ears thing, putting mask behind your ears whole time. And there are some people, the mask, they're mashing up the ears, you know. Really mash up the ears, guys. So you seen some memes, maybe I should put one up, where you check what I tell you know, mashing up your ears. I see you have to wear your mask backwards for a whole 6 months again after that. You understand? But people already know me. When I move in, I doesn't even put that behind my ears. You just hold that so and just move through, and I think you just move that one time. Even people will be like, but why don't you just put the mask behind your ears just so? Why? Now we're not even going to touch on the apparent law that St. Lucia has made as yet. Although I almost forget it, you know. But we also have a part where we're going to show some scientific information in regards to this carbon dioxide poisoning, for the family not to say it's just a whole load of bullshit I'm talking, right? Now, being an asphyxiant, this carbon dioxide, okay, it can actually cause unconsciousness, family, and even lead to death, right? And we're going to see this in one of the examples that I'm giving. We're going to see it in the sources. And remember, the asphyxia means a lack in oxygen. Being an asphyxiant, it can also cause hypercapnia, right? Whereas too much carbon dioxide has entered your bloodstream, family. I mean, we're going deep with this. Don't feel like just come there and just come and beat my mouth there. This video, I had to do that video time ago, you know. But I was like, you know, people are into the mask thing already. They're really making sense to go and do another video. Then I'm seeing some posts talking about, do these face masks really cause carbon dioxide poisoning, and that is not true or whatever. Like, if any one of my woke people, I mean the family, the empire, should know that we don't even really listen to what the media at large is saying. We have to go and do our own research, and most times the media at large is actually lying to us. So on that level there, we cannot take what they're saying like that, because watch, while we as adults, our organs, you can see, are pretty much matured and developed by now, right? Even you tell me you start school and you have the little children wearing that in the class the whole time? Huh? Their respiratory system, their organs which need sufficient oxygen hasn't even fully developed as yet, and you're already subjecting them to this. So ultimately, family, that now, the children and ourselves, because we do need oxygen, that is having a detrimental effect on us, family, not just our respiratory system, but our whole anatomy. That's why it doesn't be having that just in the road. Just so there are some people you've seen just walking on the road by themselves and they have the mask because it looks cool. There are some people driving their cars and they in the AC alone, windows up, and you have a mask, Gaza. Like, so you can see how gullible some of our people are, you know. I understand what the post-traumatic slave syndrome has done to us as a people, but I mean, come on, man. Now, this hypercapnia, family, right, can also cause what they call tachycardia or arrhythmia. Tachycardia is basically where you have a rapid heart rate, and arrhythmia is when you have a change in your heart rhythm. You see, so these things have gone past your lungs and now affecting certain organs, family, like your heart, for example. And we have, I mean, if the family has given a breast the videos, you know how we consider the heart. You understand? Though it's linked to the right hemisphere of our brain via the vagus nervous system. But that's in a next video there, family. So ultimately, family, while it looks cool, we shouldn't really be so conforming because it looks cool and you know what I mean? And wake up, man. Okay? And that also they're like a muzzle, because remember, even back in the day in slavery, you'd still see they put some sort of muzzle, you can say, you know, some kind of contraption really that blocks the nose and the mouth of the slave, right? Especially the motivational speakers, you know, to wake us up and have us, you know, even rebelling against that slave system. They would put the muzzle on the man just for the man not to be able to talk. Which I'm telling you. So that basically is a sign and a symbol, because don't tell me the most deadliest virus, right? For spray painting we need a mask. For asbestos we need a special kind of mask. But you mean to tell me the most deadliest virus on the earth is that? Huh? That, family? Now the surgical mask, you see most people just buy sometimes when they forget the actual mask at home, the surgical mask. Even at the back of the box, when you get the box of these, actually tell you that this mask will not prevent the transmission of any disease or any virus or bacteria. So again, it's something deeper than that, family. Much deeper. And I want the family to wake up to see what I'm saying. Now you must be saying, well, the doctors and the surgeons, them wearing the mask and thing for how long during surgery and whatever. But they are confined in a space, in a room, where the air condition has actually it has a function to produce oxygen, family, and they are not exposed to other gases as we are in outside. What's the amount of vehicles we have? You know the amount of carbon, you know the level of carbon monoxide that's in the atmosphere. So our body already, they're battling for the oxygen. You want to compare it with what? Because surgical doctors actually wait for hours and nothing happens to them. I mean, come on, man. Get off of it. You check it? My people need to stop being sheeple and wake up to the understanding. I mean, we still, because some of us have to, not all of us can go and live in the hills and just live in the hills. I mean, life must go on. We will obviously have a system and a society or whatever, and most of us have transactions to perform, this and that. You know, if it's not a supermarket, you have bills to pay or something. So you have to obviously wear that eventually. But don't go wrong, like you don't come out of the place, you still have your mask, you in your car, you have a mask, they driving, like someone want to take it as a symbol for being a bad boy. And a bad boy self is an effeminate male, meaning a male that's trying to act like a girl. So that bad boy talk, we like to call each other bad boy, like we have to allow that. You understand? But it's the mask. Now, I chat enough already? Let me take it to the laptop. So if say I'm on Talking Papi Show, which basically in our local term means I'm just chatting shit. Look, we went to the U.S. National Library of Medicine, National Institution of Health, right? So this is basically just an article on carbon dioxide poisoning, as you can see. A literature review of an often forgotten cause of intoxication in the emergency department. Okay, so you're going to skip through all of it. We're going to go to the results. CO toxicity in animal models, CO2 toxicity in humans. This is what we want. So it says carbon dioxide at low, see if I can highlight it for the family. Okay. CO2 toxicity in humans. Carbon dioxide at low concentration has little, if any, toxicological effects. At high concentrations, it causes the development of hypercapnia, remember we mentioned that, family, and respiratory acidosis. Severe acidosis increase the effects of parasympathetic nervous activity, possibly by interfering with the hydrolysis of acetylchlorine by acetylchlorine. I'm not even going to try to say that word, family, resulting in a depression of the respiration and the circulation of blood, obviously. Okay, concentrations of more than 10% of carbon dioxide may cause convulsions, coma, and death. We saw it here from the government's website, the Institution of Health, family. So I'm not just chatting shit. You see what I'm telling you? Okay, in another article, acute carbon dioxide poisoning, right? I mean, acute is very severe, but I just want the family to just read this article with me. Okay, it says 2 employees of a local restaurant go down to the basement to investigate a leak in the pressurized system of a carbonated beverage dispenser, which is producing an audible hiss. like it's releasing the carbon dioxide. On entering the basement, one of the employees, a healthy 64-year-old male, noticing the hissing sound is coming from a compressed gas cylinder of carbon dioxide with some frost on it. He turns to pick up a crescent wrench to close the valve and falls to the ground, unresponsive with seizure-like activity. His colleague and others at the restaurant attempt a rescue but are unable due to the sensation of suffocation. Probably this is just a little bit of carbon dioxide just hissing out, right? Being trapped in the basement, and this guy comes in and breathes it in. So what I'm basically saying is the way that this man was actually exposed to the carbon dioxide family, because our nose is in such close proximity to our mouth, we are basically doing the same thing. Now the family might say, but if this is so good, so how comes nobody will fall from it yet? Or you know, because our body now, our anatomy is learning to adapt to that insufficient oxygen, family. Sometimes you will even see that people striving for air, like I showed in as I showed early on in the video. You can see the mouthpiece of the mask moving. So you can't tell me, well, like, okay, you're taking a chance with it and your body's under no strenuous pressure. You mean to tell me you're carrying how much cases of water, you're carrying how much, cases of drinks or whatever, and you have a mask on? Your body and your cells are using up more oxygen and you're not even supplying them, family, right? Now, as we can see from another website, symptoms of carbon dioxide intoxication and poisoning. We have deeper breathing, obviously, because the body, wants to get that sufficient amount of oxygen for it to work properly. Twitching of muscles, because the muscles basically are cells and they need oxygen, family. Increased blood pressure, right? So your heart now starting to beat faster. Obviously, your body will become warmer. And if these people are checking you with the temperature, want to watch you a kind of way because your body might be a little hot, because obviously you have a stupid mask on whole day, it's already humid, the sun outside, we have 35 degrees Celsius. Come on, man, right? Then we have headaches, family. Increased pulse rate, obviously, because increased blood and pressure would give us increased pulse rate. Loss of judgment. So these people, while trying to put a muzzle on us, family, they're trying to make our thinking disorientated, if you see what I'm saying. Like, we ain't really know what we're about, and looking to pacify us to the fullest, family. And all this is basically to distract us from the grand awakening going on. Okay? And we have labor breathing, unconsciousness, and death. You see what I'm, family? So you see what I'm saying? So this is deep, family. This is deep. So while it hasn't done that to anyone, I just want the family to basically be, you know what? Let's go back next slide. So you see what I'm saying, family? So evidently, like, that mask just not healthy. It doesn't do anything in regards to the mitigation of the transmission of the virus, right? And we can see that it's only detrimental to our health. So what you do in our children by giving them this mask, and we already see the dangers scientifically, even from a government website, the dangers that this excessive carbon dioxide, right, can do to our physical anatomy. So what should we learn from all this? They don't really care about us. That's a Michael Jackson song. But it's true. They don't really care about the people, and they're looking to kill as many as possible. Now, the thing gets so kind of way, so you will feel, well, like, okay, we're in a small island in St. Lucia. While we conforming to a level, we ain't go really, we're not riding full 100. You mean to tell me that governments of St. Lucia making it law and making it mandatory that if somebody don't put what article? If you do not have a mask on, or if they catch you without a mask, right, they can fine you, as though you're now seen as a hazard to society. For a mask. You're not a hazard because you're a pedophile. You're not a hazard because you're a rapist, because you're a murderer, because you're a killer, You are basically hazardous and a detriment to society because you do not have this on. I never thought the world would get like, I never perceived this kind of changes in the world. Do they say change is the only thing, constant in reality? But that's some real bullshit, family. You know what I mean? And I know it can never be a monolith, but unless quite a few of us really come and put our heads together in regards to, I don't know if we want to make an attempt of changing that system or going to create our own system which their self can still infiltrate, right? We need to, not be so conforming to these people laws and things, family. I ain't telling anybody go and break the law, and when you get your $1,000, $500 fine, come and say I am on, because things even rough at buying. You understand? I'm just saying, family, be wise. Don't really have that on the whole time you're driving. You have that on. Just put that. Look to even move that. The faster you can remove that, the better it is for your anatomy, and even for your consciousness and your thinking. As we can see, it actually causes a loss of judgment. Right? So keep your head up. Be wise. Stay woke. Don't forget that coconut. Peace and love.